Hello, bonjour, ça va? How are we today? It is a very sunny, beautiful, warm day here in southwestern Ontario, Canada, by the now unfrozen shores of Lake Huron. It is March the 19th, 2025, one day away from our spring equinox, which is tomorrow, and apparently Eastern time. Oh, if I'm remembering this correctly, I think it's 5 in the morning. So not long now, because it's around 5 p.m. here. The weather, it's up to like 70 or 21, whichever Celsius or Fahrenheit that you like to work with. It's amazing. It's like a typical spring, beautiful day. I love it. I've been out walking along the beach. The ice is gone, sand is there. I actually went and put my hand in the water. It's a little cool, but it's still quite beautiful and very invigorating. It's nothing better than to jump in a cold lake. I'm coming on today because I'm going to channel a message about our changing timelines. I know, again, but with the huge shift in our timeline energy codes as of tomorrow, for us here, for me, moi, in the Eastern, I guess we're daylight time now, aren't we? Time zone of your planet, your Earth. I'm hearing that they're stating that it's a rebirth, and we've heard this for years, right? But this is an actual rebirth in your newest timeline, the energy codes of the divine line of time. And I hear they come in like a perpendicular sign, and they're offsetting the old deleterious timeline. I'm trying to make my hand perpendicular. There we go. I got it. Most of these changes are already due upon your planet. They've been in movement, in momentum since time began. Because we knew we were going to expand the cyclical nature of man. So we're going to come in here, we're going to make our final stand, we're going to be better on the land, and we're going to have more of a command of our own energy. That's how we stand. We stand as an element of the land, and we are performing in an elemental expand. So this is an expansiveness plane of thought. It's an expansiveness version of your planet. It's gaining momentum day by day by day. You're learning how to focus in a better way. It's almost like it's more gentle. It's not as obstructive as it once was, as you used to be here. It's gaining less income of thought, but turning it into not. It's like the old ways of being, the old ways of thinking, the old structures of the old downlines of time. They're being forgiven and forgotten on this plane of thought, on this logic plane of thought. And we're returning to our higher spot, and that is the element of being caught on our higher knot. So again, timeline shifts, that's all that means. When I hear you get caught like in a time knot, there are times when we have to shift those out of the way, and now is the time. So it's a rebirthing process that we've been working through. It's the ascension divine line of time, which we've been talking about now for years. But it's actually not coming, it's here. It's now. It's in the now moment. We are percolating our higher thoughts, and the higher wavelengths of time are percolating their divine line. So it's a mixture of the thoughts. They're now in co-alignment. It's not just one without the other as it used to be. It's like it's all genetically clear now for us to understand this. So the newbies coming in, the new babies, I should say, coming in into this streamline of time are going to be resuscitated on their own divine line, in their own divine mind, and they will be able to process it on this sign of time. So they're not going to have to go through eons and eons and eons of percolating matter here. They're going to come in and it'll be done. This is interesting because I'm being shown a picture of a Doctor Who show that I watched. Was it last night? I think it was last night. And this was, it's one of those ones that I find upsetting because it has to do with being trapped and you can't get out. I don't like those kinds of shows. They bother me too much. But anyway, so Doctor Who gets entrapped in this kind of mind game thing. And it was done to him by other Time Lords. And they wanted information from him. They didn't just ask. You could have just asked. But they put him in this kind of time loop. Sound familiar? So they put him in this time loop thing. And it had to do with, I'm hearing it like truth or consequences. So he had to be like supremely honest. So he had to share his thoughts and his feelings about certain things, like confessions, I think they called it, all through his several thousand lifetimes so far. And he did work through them. He did sort of go, okay, I know I have to confess about this thing I did and confess about that thing I did. But he got to the point where it just kept looping and looping and looping so many times. Obviously, he wanted to, get out. But he didn't give in to giving them the information that they wanted. Because, as they said later, when he did get out of it, spoiler alert, they just said, if you'd just given us the information, we would have let you out. Or he would have just broken the spell or the trigger, whatever was holding him in that mind game. And he would have been freed, but he didn't do that. So he decided that the only way to break free was to break out almost like in a physical, although it wasn't physical. And there was this wall that was made out of a material. It was kind of see-through, but kind of not. It was almost, he said it was stronger. Was it 4 times stronger? So many times stronger than a diamond, right? So a diamond. We'll show you a diamond. You know what diamonds are, right? There we go. Stronger than a diamond. And what he decided to do, because he didn't have anything to break through that wall, and he could see the sun through it, so he started using his fists until they basically just were all bloody and broken. And then he would go and he would zap himself, step out of body, and reincarnate again, because he can come back. It's nothing for a Time Lord to, pass over and then immediately come back again. So this is what he did. It took him several billion years to finally break through that diamond wall, and then he was free. And then he went back to the planet where all those Time Lords were. And I'm watching a to be continued show, so I'm not quite sure yet what he's going to do. This particular version of the Doctor, as I said, is an older gentleman now, and he's taken an older body, gray hair, Scottish. Yeah, he's really, he doesn't seem to be too concerned about being revengeful. Let's put it that way. So I'm going to finish it up tonight to see what happens, if he does continue on being revengeful, or whether he finds some love in his heart or not, and forgiveness. I don't know. Time will tell, right? So this is what it's like. We've been here for eons of time, and I was tuning in, and I was having a conversation with my spirit team, and it was like, this is, because I was like, I don't like these shows. Why do I have to watch these shows? And it was like, well, this is what you've been through. This is what we've been through on this world, on this planet, over and over and over, eons upon eons of time. And that's the word that I'm given. That's the word I hear. So it's not just a few recyclings, it's eons. And it's kind of like that Doctor Who show. He spent billions of years. I think it was just 2 billion, but anyway, around that. That's a lot. That's a lot of recycling. That's a lot of passing over and coming back again, right? So we're coming out of that time loop, that time integration with our higher thought waves over time. We're starting to realign with our higher divine line of time. That is our diamond mind. It's interesting. They likened that wall to a diamond. But we are of the higher crystalline divine mind. It's referred to as a diamond mind. It's through the third eye. So if your third eye is blind, you're blind to this line of time. Right? So this is the progression on your timeline to become unblind so you can actually see your divine line of time, and then you can progress forward. So with that block, that wall, he could kind of sort of opaquely see through because the sun was shining through on the other side. But he couldn't really see properly. So he had to break the wall down. Then he was free. He's free because he could see what was going on. He was held in, I guess I'm supposed to tell you this, he was held in this castle. It was like a Scottish castle. And that was surrounded by water. And so, yeah, there was nothing else around. If you're so interested, you can take a look at that. It's on Prime Video. I don't think those shows are going to stay too much longer. I think they said they'd be leaving soon. So you'll have to catch them quickly. I don't remember what season it was, but it's towards the end, I think, of them. Anyway, so as we are shifting and moving out of these older lines of time into our divine line, we start to see the splicing off of different lines of time. Our memory codes come back. We start to feel less and less resistance to the higher light. We start to understand that this energy is coming from our higher might. So it's our higher lineage line, it's our higher divine lines of time that give us this information. This is why it's so important to meditate every day. The key to unlocking this freeing up of the pineal and everything else that needs to be shifted and moved is through meditation. You must settle your mind, and through the third eye mind, you're no longer blind. Then you understand everything. You see everything clearly. It's not an opaque glass anymore. You see. You hear, you understand, you know. Nobody has to tell you anything. And then you expand from there. That's how you grow. That's how I'm hearing it. It's how you expand. And then you can go on and do whatever you want to do, spiritually speaking. If you want to go off and just be spirit light, not just, but, return to spirit light and drop the physical bodies and all that kind of stuff. You can do that if you want to go and engage with other beings on other planets. You can go and do that and keep the physicality, albeit a little bit different looking. You can come back here. Whatever is best for your soul growth purpose. That's what's going to happen. That's what you're going to do. You're the creator of this, just as we are the creator of our own worlds. So as the Doctor Who thought, that's what he created. And he's a genius. He's been around a long time. He's seen it all, I think. Maybe. Maybe there's still a few more things out there for him to experience that are new, hopefully. But these are radical changes coming through to you. It's our own creation now. What do you want to create within the synapses and joints in the brain, in the brainstem? What do you want to do? What do you want to make? You make it through the third eye, where you're not blind. You don't have past traumatic experiences, PTSD, programming, brainwashing. You don't have that anymore. That's being filtered out. It's been filtered out. Some of us are already clear. Karmic stuff is clear. We can just, using our third eye, start to shift the energy codes and begin to relearn how to be here in a higher way. The others will drift away. We've talked about this for years as well. Not to worry about that. They are going on their own path that they have chosen before time began. We all have our own path, our own destiny. Whatever time we wake up, whatever time we move on, that's all up to us. Sometimes we're on time and other times we lapse behind. And there's no judgment, because that would be unkind. And that comes from a lower, inferior state of mind. Okay. So we're busting through all of this. Okay, we're like the little chick in the egg, and we're breaking through. And it's going to be all done and all taken care of sooner rather than later. So these next few days, weeks, months, years, let's use that to our highest capacity possible and arrange a higher light and a higher way of being, and create an energy wave that goes through, I always hear it as percolates, that percolates through the entire planetary wavelength of thought to bring it up more than a notch. Okay, that's how we've been taught. Right? So recap, we're on our ascension line of time. These energies, the full moon, the eclipses, we're still in the middle of eclipse season. The next one, the solar one, is the 29th of March. Tomorrow, the equinox. Oh my gosh, look at how crazy this is. Things are really winding up, and people are feeling it. And I've noticed just out in public, it's kind of, people are frantic or a little frenetic, or I don't know if I want to go so far as saying panicky, but they're feeling the electricity. Yeah, it's like a jolt going through their system of light. They're waking up, whether you like it or not. We're all waking up together, and that's a glorious thing. All right, not hearing anything else. I think I'll go. Dinner time, my tummy's rumbling. I want to go eat. So blessings, take care of yourselves and others. If you wish to book an appointment with us, you can go to the website www.healingourenergy.ca and book your appointment there. All right, I'm going to scoot. We shall be back again. Bye for now.